Okay, hello people of the internet. Thank you for watching my videos about dieting in Japan. So dieting is difficult no matter where you are, but it can be more difficult if you're not in your home country, or it can just be a little different. So a lot of people think that when you come to Japan you will magically just lose weight because, Japanese people, as I'm sure you know, tend to be thinner than certainly people in America and in a lot of other Western cultures. But that's not because there's not delicious, amazing, even fattening food here in Japan, but that's for another video. Today I wanted to talk about how it is to be overweight in Japan versus in the West, or even especially in my home country of the United States of America. Oh, also, before I forget, I am down, I think it's 3 more kilograms in 2 weeks. Yay! So before I was this, and now I'm this. And that's exciting. So yeah. But anyway, so about being overweight in Japan versus being overweight in the only other place I've ever been overweight, which is the United States. So in the United States, it's really easy to find clothes if you are bigger. But even so for what my particular size is I'm not even the top end of being overweight in America. There are people that are very, very extremely obese in America. So even a lot of the clothes that I would buy wouldn't even be from plus size stores or plus size sections. I can find a lot of, especially tops, I can find a lot of tops in not plus size area, which is also a little bit true in Japan, but especially with pants, because I have a big, huge butt and big hips. It was definitely size 14 to 16, which is considered, I guess, a plus size. I think regular sizes stop at 12 in the United States, and then plus size starts at 16, 14, something like that. But yeah, plus size clothes are enormously easy to find in the United States. There are whole entire stores, and not just one store, there are many stores. And even really fashionable stores have a plus size section. In Japan, that is kind of true. There are definitely stores where they're just designed for bigger people. Where do you think sumo wrestlers would get their clothes? But also, there are some stores that have ladies large sizes. But in my experience, usually those sections are designed for oh, maybe you're ladies large because you're a grandma and you don't do anything, so you gained weight and you're out of shape, and that's what this section is for. It's not necessarily fashionable clothing that a younger person, or even a fashionable older person would want to wear. Not that it's impossible to find. I mean, there are some things. There is a Forever 21 here, and I think it does have a plus size section. But yeah, in general, if you go to shopping in Tokyo, or especially the famous Harajuku, everything there is small, and it's not just oh, this is a size 6 American style small. It's this is a size 0 small. Very, very small. Designed for very, very tiny people. Overweight in Japan, in America, I'm overweight, but I'm not extremely overweight, it's almost normalized in America, my weight. But here it's wow, she's overweight, you know what I mean? So it's a big difference because Japanese people have smaller stature, they're tinier, even their bone structure. So Yeah. So if you want to go to a really fashionable district and you're coming to Japan, be aware that if you're even maybe by American standards normal size and you go to like a very, very like oshare, which means like fashionable store in like Tokyo or something, they're going to probably come up and tell you one size fits all. And by one size, they mean tiny, teeny, teeny, tiny. So of course, part of moving to Japan that like really encouraged me to lose weight is that you immediately notice that everyone is smaller. And even people that aren't what you would consider like heavier, like I've had bosses that were in America, you would be like, oh my God, I want to be her size. And they were like, I need to go on a diet. I need to diet because by Japanese standards, they feel that they are overweight. Also, if you go to like every year in Japan, your company will, if you work in Japan, your company will require you to get a physical checkup. So in the physical, they test things like your eyesight, you know, things like that, your hearing, and also your weight. And you get rated on all of these things about, you know, what you need to work on. And of course, everything for me was fine. It was like I think 1 is like perfect, that no problem, except for the weight. And the weight was like, you need to lose weight right now. Because especially, even by Japanese standards, I am considered extremely overweight. Where in America, they might be like, yeah, go on a diet. It's not a big deal. It's kind of, you know, it's more normalized in the United States. Whereas here, especially as a Westerner being judged by Japanese standards, it, you know, the scientifically in the analysis would be this person is extremely unhealthy. Which I don't feel that, I feel that I walk a lot and, you know, maybe my weight is unhealthy, but I think that I can do a lot of physical activities that are that I am trying to do to keep myself healthy and help myself to reach a healthy weight. Because heart disease is one of the leading causes of death in the United States. And being overweight is really hard on your heart. But I digress. The second thing I wanted to talk about is the reaction to overweight people in Japan. So in America, you would never say to someone, oh, you are heavy set, you're bigger, you're anything about their weight. Weirdly, it's okay to be like, you're too skinny in America, which I also think is a problem. You know, so you would never say that unless you are extremely, like maybe someone's parent might say that to them, but it's considered pretty rude. In Japan, people are extremely friendly and they're extremely nice, but if someone is closer to you or your friend or even like your coworker, someone that is not just a complete stranger to you will not find it's not culturally rude to say, oh, you're kind of heavy, or oh, you know, you should probably, like, you're probably dieting, right? Because you're kind of heavy. It's, you know, in America, we probably wouldn't say that, but culture here is different. It's not good. It's not bad. It's just different. And, yeah, you just, like, in America, like, your partner would never tell you, oh, you're overweight. I think that you need to lose weight. Like, here, your partner would tell you that, and it would not be considered rude or a slight or mean in any way. It's definitely just, you know, almost like a, kind of like in a caring way, which I know can be like a really hard concept for a lot of Western people to grasp. But it's not rude, and like even my boss has told me, you know, we'll talk about that, and she knows I'm on a diet now. One of my bosses, she knows I'm on a diet now, and she's very encouraging, and you know, I think in a good way, it's helpful. And, you know, she was like, yeah, you know, I noticed, you know, I was worried that you were overweight, kind of. Not really like that, but you get that sense. And then they're happy, you know, improving yourself, taking steps to improve yourself in Japan is highly praised. Like, it's very good to be always trying to improve yourself. It's something that's really admired in Japan. So you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be the best at something, but the Japanese thing is it's always good to be like improving yourself. And I think that's true in a lot of countries, but here especially, I've noticed that it's really admired to like by people if you are working on something. So whether that be for me, if it's like Japanese, or if it's losing weight, or if it's trying to understand like manners and culture, people will just appreciate that you're trying your best. So no one expects you to be perfect, but yeah, it's admired, and I felt good that people were like, wow, you are trying to lose weight, and being encouraging, and it does help me, because I think it's something that maybe I won't want to quit now, because I'll know, like, someone's gonna say, oh, like, how's your diet going? And I think that if you're dieting in America, you should even tell people, and I'm telling the whole internet. Hi, I'm on a weight loss journey. Yay. So yeah, those are just two things that are a little different. Also, the third thing is food. Learn how to read a Japanese like nutrition label. It's different than obviously American nutrition labels, but if you have the MyFitnessPal app, which I am not like affiliated with in any way, I just use it. There's a barcode scanner that you can use, and usually it'll just tell you, it'll like almost translate the whole thing into English. It'll be like, this is how much you ate, this is how many calories, this is how many grams of sugar, yada yada yada, all that nutrition stuff. But sometimes, because it's Japan, it'll be like, oh, like item not found. So then you're going to have to learn how to decipher the label. It'll be pretty obvious it'll say, like, this many calories. And that's like how many, what we would just call calories in the United States. But then it's also like, well, how many calories per serving if I drink this whole bottle? Like, maybe the label says, 45 calories, but really in the whole bottle it's like 150 or something. You know what I mean? So you just have to be careful of that, which you also have to be careful of in the United States. And also be aware of, what kinds of foods have, what in them, because a lot of like hidden calories, and that's just something that's also true in the United States. Anyways, this video is getting long and rambly, and yes, next, in 2 days, I am going to Tokyo, and then I'm going to Kyoto, and I'm gonna make some videos there and show you guys a little bit of how hopefully my diet is still going well while I'm on vacation. So any tips, please write to me down below. And yeah, tips for dieting while on vacation, because I know it's gonna be hard. There's so much good food in Tokyo, and this is my first time that I'll be going to Kyoto, but I heard there's also great food, so may the force be with me. Alright, thanks for watching. Bye!